Okay. Good evening. We're going to call to order the Committee of Infrastructure. This meeting of the Committee of Infrastructure is being held on Wednesday, May 7th at 2025 at 6:15 p.m. in the Automatic Chamber and duly noticed in two places, including City's website, in accordance with the requirements of RSA 91-A:2, numeral number 2. So, if you are participating via Zoom, please state your presence, reason for not attending the meeting in person, and whether there is anyone in the room with you during the meeting, which is required under the right to know law. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Absolutely, Mr. Chairman. Alderman Thibodeau?
Here. Yes.
Alderman Sullivan?
I'm sorry if you said Alderman Sullivan. I'm attending via Zoom as I'm traveling for work, and there is no one in the room with me.
Okay, thank you, Alderman.
Alderman Clee is here. Alderman Dowd?
Present.
Alderman O'Brien?
Present.
You have 5 in attendance.
Okay. Also in attendance is Don Enright, Treasurer and Tax Collector, and asked to sit in just to make sure we're doing okay here. Ms. Director Tim Cummings of the Administrative Service Director. Okay. And are we expecting Ms. Barry?
No, she will
No.
not be in attendance.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Public comment. I don't see anybody with us this evening, so we'll go to communications.
Communications from Sam Durkee, AICP Planning Manager, referral from the Board of Aldermen on Resolution R 25-140 relative to tax deeded property auction.
Okay. There being no objection, I will accept the communication and place it on file. Unfinished business.
R 25-140 relative to tax deeded auction. Mr. Chairman, at this time, I recommend final approval by roll call.
Okay, thank you. And I will now turn to Ms. Enright. Could you give us a little brief history on this pending resolution?
Certainly, thank you. So before you this evening is a resolution to sell tax deeded properties at auction. On this list, you have 14 properties. I'm happy to report at this time it is down to 11 properties. We started this process with 29 deeded properties, and 18 of the 29 have repurchased by the prior owner. So they are not being displaced, they are staying in their homes. And we are looking to go to auction to dispose of the 11 remaining properties.
Yes, Alderman Clay?
Can I ask you which properties are removed from this list?
Certainly. 6 Hayden,
Okay.
54 Tenby,
Okay, which is items number 1, number 6, and so
and number 13, which is 112 Gilson Road.
okay. Thank you.
Okay. Alderman Dow?
Yes, so the monies that we collected from what they owed, that money goes into the general fund, correct?
Correct.
And when we sell these other 11 properties via auction, that money also goes into the general fund, is that correct?
Yes, what is owed to the city will go into the general fund. Anything over and above what is owed to the city will either get paid back to the prior owner, or it will go to the interpleader of the courts, who will figure out who the rightful owner is of those funds.
Okay, and that money goes into the general fund for FY '25, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
All right. Ms. Enright, for the folks at home, you know, a lot of people don't understand what we're doing, and we're not here to take away or kick anybody out of their potential houses. Could you just go over like the process? In other words, how many years in arrears, in the example, some of these properties are not paying any taxes and everything, and within legal right, which is what, 2 years of non-property? If you could just give us an explanation so the folks at home can understand.
Certainly. So the law states that each property that does not pay their taxes within 30 days after the final due date, the municipality shall execute a lien against the property for the amount of taxes owed, at which time the interest rate that is charged on that outstanding balance increase according to the statute. Then they have 2 years from the date of that lien execution to pay off that amount. If that amount is not paid off, then the municipality has the right to take ownership of that property. During this time, they get notification of their delinquencies. Many times, they're notified. We have an arrearage notice that goes out that lets them know how many years back prior to a lien execution, and then they have to be notified at least 30 days prior to the deed date. Typically, we give 60 days before we actually execute a deed on the property. Then, once a property is executed, they are notified of their repurchase capabilities to be able to take ownership back of this property. There are very specific guidelines that are set out as to how to repurchase. They must notify us that they're ready, willing, and able. Then they have an additional 30 days to actually come up with the funds to repurchase their property. Mainly, the most important thing is if somebody's behind in their taxes, talk to us, because we can help them figure out a way to pay their taxes. We help people get in touch with human services, with welfare. There are agencies out there that can help people with their electric bills, their gas bills, and we are more than happy to have these discussions with citizens. Do they qualify for an exemption that we offer? Quite often, people don't understand, even though it's on their bill, on the back of your bill, it does tell them what exemptions and credits are out there that they could qualify for. They just don't think they qualify. We will actually hold their hand, get the applications for them, and help them understand the process so that people can stay in their homes. We don't want to own homes. We just need to follow the laws. Many of these properties that we have taken this round owe 6-7 years of back taxes. So this has been a leniency that we need to get these taxes paid so that people can move forward and understand the importance of paying these taxes.
Thank you, Ms. Enright. It does my heart good to understand that the city can be lenient and has a program available to help out somebody who is in arrears and for whatever particular reason, and show them the way to assist them and everything. But you do reach a point, you know, as we are all taxpayers and we have the same obligations. So, you know, unfortunately it's come to this, but it's what is required by law. Okay, you did a very good explanation. I thank you very much. And can the record show we're joined by Alderman at-Large Warren at 6:23. Welcome.
Thank you. I got here.
I'm sure you're here early
Yeah,
for
that's
another
exactly
meeting,
right.
but we'll record that you're present.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. Piece of cake. All right. Any other further discussion on the motion? Seeing none. Oh, yes, I'm sorry, I didn't see you.
The way the agenda is structured, so there's the R25-140, which had 21 properties, and then the amendment that has 14 properties, and now we have additionals that have been removed from this. Will that be, should there be a further amendment, or is there a yellow?
Well, that's a good question, yeah. I think that could be done clerically, if you want. Do you have the list of the properties that we're talking about?
I do not have, I just have them marked off on the resolution, and I will state that we are still talking to these property owners, so it could change.
Right.
So if we are not the rightful owner, we can't take it to auction. So whether it's on here or not, if we don't have the right to sell it, it will not go to auction.
Right. Yeah, just Alderman Thibodeau, this is, I've done this before, it is fluid, you know, a fluid situation. If somebody should discover the leprechaun's pot of gold, I wish they did, but, you know, they can get out of arrears, you know, so it is fluid. Yes, Alderman Clee.
I was just going to ask the same question that Alderman Thibodeau asked. Should we be making an amendment to this before we vote on it? Because we're voting this knowing that 3 properties have been removed.
Brian?
Alderman Dowd.
Yeah, I think we can proceed just approving this resolution because it is a fluid subject that changes, and I think in the past what we've done is we've given the permission. If they don't need to take the property, they won't. If the people pay it off, they'll take the payments, but it's all administrative, so I think we can approve
Right.
it as is without additional amendment. If we had to amend it every time it changed, we might be here forever.
Yeah, and I concur with Alderman Dowd. The discussion on it is fruitful, but however, our duty here with this is to be the strong arm of the city. If it comes to resolve, all the better. We're not in the property business. So it is my hope, and I'm sure all our hopes, that it can come to some form of resolution. But, you know, you gotta sometimes be the barking dog to get everybody on the queue, and it seems this is it. Alderman Clee.
In reading this further, I absolutely agree with you. It does say, now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Aldermen, the City of Nashua, that the city is authorized to auction the following tax deeded properties if the same have not been repurchased by the prior owner pursuant to RSA 80:89. So if it has been repurchased, as these 3 have, that automatically takes them off. So I 100% agree with my colleague from Ward 2 and the chairman.
thank you.
So thank you very much for that clarification. I should have read it closer before my comment, so thank you.
No.
Thank you.
This is something that unfortunately hadn't been done by the city in a long time. And a lot of these places, as you could tell by the tail of the tape, have been in arrears for several years. And we're now just really catching up. And, you know, things for the city, as tight as they are at my house, you know, and stretching the budget, and God only knows what's going to happen in the future. So, you know, I hope everything gets resolved, but we shall see. All right, any other discussion? Seeing none, I'll have the clerk please call the roll.
Alderman Thibodeau.
Yes.
Alderman Sullivan.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes, I am reading this, okay.
You're here.
Alderman Clee is yay. Forget who I am. Alderman Dowd
Yes.
and Alderman O'Brien.
Yes.
Oh, God, I haven't been here long enough. You have 5 yays, right? And 2,
Yes,
4,
5 yeas,
Can't even count anymore.
and the motion carries.
I was reading the endorsers. This is how bad it is.
You're doing a fine job, Alderman Clee.
Oh, gosh.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, it's tough to get back on the saddle. I
It
found
is.
that
It
out
really
after
is.
my
It honestly is.
foray in Mass General, yeah. Okay. All right, moving on to new business resolutions.
There are none?
New business ordinances
There are none.
and petitions.
There are none.
Okay, what is on the table's got to stay on the table.
Okay?
And we have 2 items on it, and so we've got to leave them as such. General discussion by members of the committee? Seeing none, and we'll just go over the remarks by Alderman. I would like to agree with Alderman Dow. We need to
Combine them.
perhaps maybe change that and combine it with permission of our president, Alderman Wilshire. They seem to mean the same thing, you know? So, with that, again, I'm going to look to Alderman Clee for the favorite motion of the evening.
At this time, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn by roll call.
Okay. Motion to adjourn. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Thibodeau?
Yes.
Alderman Sullivan?
Yes.
Alderman Clee says yay. Alderman Dowd?
Yes.
And Alderman O'Brien.
Yes.
You have 5 yeas and 0 nays.
Okay, I'm glad you remembered your name.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Remember who I was.
Motion carries, and I'll say we adjourned at 6:31. I thank you all for coming. Thank you. And thank you, Ms. Enright.